What's the most important part of your pitch, your presentation, or anything that you have to do? What do you think the most important part is?
The message you're trying to get across.
The message you're trying to get across is important, not the most important.
The close?
The close is very important, not the most.
Introduction?
The introduction is very important, but not the most.
The takeaway?
The takeaway is important, but it's not the most important.
First impression.
That's important.
Connection.
Your audience?
Your audience is the most important thing, no matter what you're going to do.
Finally got there!
The audience, because what you say to one audience could be totally different. If you're speaking to elementary school kids, or you're speaking to college level kids, you can't give the same talk. If you're talking to, maybe you do, but if you're talking to people who you want to raise funds from, and then it's totally different talk. So if you don't acknowledge that, you're not going to give the right talk. It has to be appropriate for that audience. They are the most important. Like they talk about that radio station, WIFM. You know, what's in it for me? That's what every audience member wants to know. Get my attention. Tell me what I want to hear. They don't want to hear all this other stuff. Get to the point. And what is your call to action? If you don't know what that call to action is, how can you give a talk? You need to be able to answer this question. I want my audience to do what? Give us money, right? Enroll some girls. Whatever it might be, what is your point? Be able to verbalize that to yourself before you give the pitch. That's the most important. That is the takeaway. That is the introduction. That is the body. That is the conclusion. That's all of it. What is the point of this? But I wanted to simplify that. And so if we simplify that, we have the acronym TIMES. T is I state a topic. I introduce it. I give a few examples and I summarize it. That could be for 30 seconds. I could give a quick talk for 30 seconds or 10 seconds. I know quickly what I want to say and it has that structure. This structure will help you feel like whatever you're saying, you finished it, you put it in a package. So for people who say, I ramble, I can't be succinct, if you follow these rules, yes, you are succinct. You sound very organized. That's a great way to summarize it. That's what I have to say about the verbal. The verbal isn't as important. A lot of that's done ahead of time. This you can actually do for extemporaneous. Somebody gets you up to talk, like Ben, what's happening this week? And if you think about those lines, you're going to tell them what's happening, introduce it, give maybe 2 or 3 examples and say, and that's what we did this past week. Done. He comes across very organized. So that's a great strategy to use.